Hi guys, this is Thomas Korte. Just want to do a really quick video about the 5-minute presentation we ask you to do when you interview at AngePad. So we interview everybody for 30 minutes, and just a couple of days before we ask them to prepare a 5-minute presentation. The goal for the 5-minute presentation is really to have a foundation for a conversation in the meeting. So when you come in, think about it this way. We don't want you to babble on, what you're doing. We don't want you to have a 60-slide presentation. You stand up there in front of us. We want to get into a conversation very, very, very quickly, because at the end of the day, that's when you find out what people really feel, what they think, have they thought all the things through. Can they be challenged? Do they have good answers? Not just good answers, thoughtful answers. So, the best way to approach a 5-minute presentation is, do 5-6 slides. What you want to cover in those is, what you do, who you are, and who your team is, and why your team works together as a unit rather than just your credentials. What it is that your hypothesis is, and how did you validate it. So that's always good with an anecdote. I was traveling. I'm just making this up, by the way. I was traveling in Europe, and I realized everyone was schlepping around the big, tour guides and their cell phones. And I thought there should be a better way to doing this. So the hypothesis is that everything that's in a tour guide can be done better in a mobile phone. There's the hypothesis. Then go into how did you validate that? I talked to 60 travelers while I was there, and they all complained about it. But I quickly found out that they were worried about the roaming charges in Europe if they use it online, so it had to be on the phone directly. I also realized coming back home that there were all kind of licensing fees about getting this content and building community around it. But we've done more research, and we've done this, this, and this is the product we've come out with. So give me the hypothesis. How do you come across this problem? Why are you passionate about it? All that works much better in a story, a personal story. Make me believe that you've done your homework, understanding what you're doing, that you know this better than anyone else. Then hopefully you have a product. You can show us a product in slides. Live demos are never great. It just takes too long. And then hopefully at that point we're full on in a conversation. We'll be challenging you about customer acquisition. We'll be challenging you about your assumptions. We'll be challenging you about technical problems. And that's where really the magic happens, in the conversation. Imagine this is a blind date. You take someone to a restaurant. If you just rattle down all your credentials, that you're smart and that you went to this school and you make this much money, you drive this car, you'll never have a second date. Never, I guarantee you. It's exactly the same thing when you're with investors. Or for that matter, someone that you want to hire. If you don't get into conversation, if you don't connect with them, if you don't click, it will not happen. So that's the foundation that we're looking for in the 5-minute video. It's really to have like I said, a foundation for the conversation to go on with. You really should have this for every investor meeting, for every meeting that you go into. Just be prepared for that. Don't overslide, meaning don't do 30, even 20 slides, even 15 slides you won't get through. A good way to deal with supplementary information is in the appendix. So if you have 5 or 6 slides, and then you have another 10 slides in there, market size, competitive analysis, barriers to entry, all these things that you hear about and that you've done. That's a good place to do that. I hope that was helpful. It was about the 5-minute presentation that we ask anyone that applies to AngePad and that we actually end up interviewing to do, but also hopefully for some of the interviews that you do with investors.